Hey guys, welcome back. It's Lucid and we're playing Bogarus. So, we've got a good turn here. We got a real good turn. A real juicer, if you know what I mean. It's, it's hard to be upset when you log in and you see this many firebirds. I'm not gonna lie. It's just real hard. There's so much good stuff. This turn is not a ton of events. There's like a lot of little nice details. And yeah, I mean, I feel bad about ganking Arco now when we're having so much luck. And there's the little things on this turn, though, guys. Like, you know what is not in this list of all these spells? There's not a message that says your global's been dispelled. And I don't want to jinx myself, but I mean, I'll jinx myself. It's probably going to be dispelled next turn, but fuck, they might have tried to dispel it this turn and failed. There's a chance. There's a chance. If they would have taken it down, it would have been this turn. Last turn was the first turn with it up, so they would have sent gems. Wait, let me make sure I got that right. Let's make sure I got that right. 39. 38. Let's see, 37, did I have it up or not? That is the question. Yeah, 37, I had it up. This is the first turn it was up. This turn, everybody logs in, they're like, oh shit, we're going to dispel. So they send gems. So 38, this turn, not this turn, but this one, they are going to cast dispel because they've all pulled them on 37. And this turn should be the turn it gets dispelled. But it's looking like they probably thought I did a min cast, and I didn't. Or maybe even better, they thought I did a medium cast, like 100 or 150 fire gems. So we might have just snuck it just about right. We might have snuck it just about right. Freaking all stars. Learning Hydra. Here we go. So that is the first thing, and that is by far and away the most important part of this turn being a good turn. Because if that had been taken down, not too much else would matter a ton. But it is not the end. It is just the start of why this is a good turn. The other reason this is a good turn is that we found 2 sites here. 2 water sites. This is, by the way, like the first time this game, or maybe second time, that our remote site searching, which we've spent a fair amount of gems on, if you can just tell here by the 9s, that we actually found something useful. So we found 2 water gems. We didn't find anything with horror specs. We didn't find anything with gnome lore, but this Voice of Apsu, we found another Well of White Water, which is a 1 water gem site. So in total, we found 3 water gems, which is pretty good. We then sent horrors down here, and we got belly maws. And belly maws they die pretty fast, like they're pretty chaffy, but they murder stuff. And this is where he had a tiny bit of PD, and these are some of his heart companions, if I recall. Oh no, they're just there's some heart companions. Okay, but mostly it's hoplites. And oh no, they're luck and have moss body. Wow, wow, wow. Doesn't matter that much. Now, if this was 1 Sinless or Horror and I got 1 of these groups, they probably would have killed it. But 2 was too much. It was too much. 2 of the mages got away, so good for them. Then, the monkeys attacked in Midgard and were repulsed by an enormous force patrolling Midgard, which, by the way, is going to murder every single journalist. It is a very dangerous profession, being a journalist in Dominions. There is no freedom of the press, and foreign journalism is not allowed. I don't think this is going to trigger gem use. Oh, it does. Okay, so this actually was a pretty good gem bait then. I thought the monkeys kind of got crushed, but this actually was a very good gem bait. Because the monkeys brought almost nothing, but somehow this was enough to trigger gem use. And this wasted very, very precious air gems from Midgard. And this is some of the things the monkeys have the luxury of doing right now because they have peace with me. If I was fighting them for Midgard, they wouldn't be able to do this song and dance where they bleed Midgard out of air gems. Midgard is only making maybe 2 or 3 air gems a turn. I don't know how much their capital has, but not much, right? And if we look at it, they're going to be very happy with this. This was the exact purpose of this. Yeah, look at that. I mean, look at that. They have bled them out about 9 air gems, maybe a little bit more, maybe 10. And that doesn't seem like much to you guys because y'all aren't like living hand to mouth like Midgard is, but this is probably all of their air gems. That's probably all of them. So now they're in real trouble. Fortunately for them, they can do Storm and Storm Power and Thunderstrike, so the Mage Core is still going to be useful without air gems. Bad thing for them, well, oh, these guys, they patrolled out my scout here. I don't know where this army's going. I guess he's trying to bait Midgard into keep poking his head out while he eventually is going to come in and take the cap. Let's put this under siege. That's interesting. So that is what happened over there. Now, in the land of Arco and our conflict, they have moved. This really surprised me, this move, by the way. They moved this whole army on to a wasteland, which they probably, this is late age wastelands. They have a fair amount of supply. But onto a wasteland, nevertheless, with a disease site, which is so friggin' ballsy. It's ballsy for a few reasons. One is like, why I wouldn't move my army there, so it's not like we would have a battle, because I don't want to put my army on a disease site. But he apparently doesn't care. And I have put here what I think is enough, what I hope is enough to cause a gym bait, because we're not actually just gym baiting. This is meant to kill raiders, but I also was trying to get enough in each of these provinces that it would gym bait if it triggered a battle. And so we've got 5 all afflicted Malia Druzina. Excuse me. They're all afflicted with various things. Some that aren't that bad. I mean, Shmaya Strength actually is pretty bad for these guys. Battle Fright, pretty bad. Battle Fright, pretty bad. And then this guy has Never Healing Wound, which is probably the least bad of all these afflictions. So, yeah, Never Healing Wound on the Malia Druzina is not a huge deal. However, they're all afflicted, and we've got 1 mage with 5 gems. On his side, he has his full army, and rather than click on all the mages, I'll go through them this way. Wait, whoops. This one has 4 gems. This one has, so that's 8 now, 8 gems. 10. 13, 16, 18, 21, 24, 26, 30, 32, 35, 35 gems, my friends. That is a lot. That is a lot of gems. And they are going to spend, I believe, every single one of them as we watch. Now, they do some Soul Slays, which, are yoinking some of my Malia Druzina. But it's not going to target my mage. And, we've got some Cav here, which actually is probably going to do okay against their archers. They wipe out an archer tile. Great. And we've summoned some Earth Elementals now. And they have cast a bunch of So Dragon Teeth. And we haven't really, I don't think, seen them yet. I mean, they have been using them, but I haven't had the scouts in place to see them, and we haven't really been causing gym baits before. And this is a Sparte, so this is So Dragon Teeth. This is a great spell. In the All-Stars game, which should be coming up on the channel in not terribly long, you will see, and maybe it even comes up before this, because who knows what I choose to upload first. This was actually drafted as one of the spells. It is a really good spell. You turn 1 Earth Gem into, I think, 5 of these, and they're Formation Fighter with magic weapons, phenomenal hit points. I mean, it is, it is very nice. And that one had protection buffs, but yeah, they hit hard. They've got great attack and defense. They're just a really good unit. They're a really good unit. Yeah, super solid as a summon. I mean, there's things that can counter it, like Solar Brilliance and stuff. Their MR is pretty good, but it's nothing to write home about. So yeah. The elephant squishing things. They've got Foul Vapors up, but they don't have Enchantment 7. So they can't get... I mean, they've got, I think, Poison Ward. Well, actually, let's go back and watch this again. They may have Poison Warded this group of dudes. Yeah, there's Poison Ward going off. So they've Poison Warded most of these guys. I don't think they got all of them. Like, this guy didn't get it. Those guys got Bless, so you don't have to worry about them. They've got... Oh, no, Poison Resistance isn't in the Bless. So, but they've got these guys Poison Warded. And then they Foul Vapors. Now, the Archers don't have it. And so they're all running now after they got hit by the Heavy Cav and all that. And now our guys are running, but look, everything, I think, got spent. Yeah. We lost our Alchemist. He didn't manage to retreat, which is a little sad. They cast Howl and stuff too. So they got riggedy wrecked. Our mage got wrecked. But, I mean, guys, 35 gems for, what did it cost me? It cost me 5 Limped Amalia Druzina. So that's like 200 gold. And an Alchemist. So that's 135. So that's like, let's call it like 350 gold. Right? On top of that, they have lost about 220 gold of crossbows and hoplites. Maybe a little more. And they have lost 35 gems. Now, to get this province, though, they have... I mean, this province is valuable. This province is a 4-gem province. So you could maybe subtract out, I lost 4 gems extra. So I didn't spend 9. You could... I mean, 5, you could say I spent 9. And they didn't lose 35. You could say they lost, 31. But a phenomenal trade for me. A phenomenal trade. And it's actually even better than this, and I'll tell you why in a moment. And here they attack, and this was the other province I put enough to probably gem burn. We summon an Earth Elemental. This guy does summon Imps. He's supposed to do a Lesser Horror next to... I hope he doesn't. Oh, there aren't enough gems left, so he does Imps. That's fine. And we murder... They're all lucky and buffed and stuff with Moss Body and... Or they're not lucky. They're just Moss Bodied. And they go Berserk. But yeah, there's not nearly enough stuff on them. They get pretty much wrecked. So there's 5... There's almost a turn of cap recruitment and another mage. All gone. I don't think he had gems on this guy. Let's check. Yeah, no gems. So, no extra booty there. And then here, he tries to raid me with... he had this guy in the water. I thought he was just sight searching, but I guess this was scuba, like, Navy SEAL operation stuff. So, he's going to summon water elementals. The problem here is that at the beginning of combat, everybody picks a target. And there's only one target to pick. So, all the crossbows are going to shoot him because he has nothing else to distract. So, he summons a water elemental, but they're already targeted onto him. And then they get a pretty lucky first hit, but it's pretty likely that in the second or third salvo, which I think they would get off before this guy, because he would have to get trampled, he's pretty high defense, and then they would have to get back there. I'm pretty sure they would add 2 more salvos off. I think there's a very low chance of this working, maybe like 20% on his side. Certainly if the mage didn't, maybe if he had like air shield first or something, it could have worked. But yeah, I think the odds of this working were probably pretty low, probably like 20%. And so that was this one. And when you sum it up, that we killed all these guys, so that's 6 heart companions. Here we killed 5 heart companions. Here we killed 1 mystic. Here we killed 1 mystic. Here we didn't kill any mages, but we burnt 35 gems. Here we killed a mystic. he is bleeding units he cannot afford to bleed. And it is probably starting to dawn on him that resistance is futile. I will say, I told the coalition when this started, I think, first of all, it was very suspicious for Arco, the player, to bow out the turn the coalition started. I did not think really that he had left, or that he had mostly left, but was still going to check turns, which would be the same thing probably as playing when you've got a good partner like Isataris, who's like a very good player. In my opinion, not at Arco's level, because I don't think really hardly anybody is. But like I said, I've played against Arco a few times, and I would know after a few turns of war if Arco was playing or not, and I do not think Arco is. Like, these are obviously well-scripted groups and things like that, but there's just a little, like, zhuzh that is missing. So I'm a little disappointed, because part of the reason for this war was Arco violated a nap and did a mass elfing of me, and I wanted to hit him back ever since then. And so now that I get the chance, he's like, oh, I'm leaving. So it's a little And then also it would be kind of cool to see what Arco does when he's put in a really difficult situation like this, because this is difficult. I mean, he bought out one of the players and lost 2 territories, but it's basically a 2v1. Now, technically, you could say it's a 4v1. It's really a 2v1. And there are people with about the same net. We have more gem income than him, but in terms of research and gems and income, we have way more. I have way more income than he does. But in terms of gems and research, we were about on parity when the war started. And probably I haven't gotten TNG score graphs. We'll try to get those soon. But TNG probably was too. Okay. All that to say, a little sad that I think he actually has bowed out. Which is, I was talking with Isataris the other day too. And he was like, yeah, dude, he actually has left. I was like, you sure? I don't believe you. He's like, yeah. I was like, nothing you can say will make me believe you. Because, like, obviously Arco, like, that's the best move they could make, and you leave it to the, like, 4D chess player to say I'm leaving when that's the best thing to do, and then actually stay and help, and then he can be like, aha, I got you, motherfuckers, you gangbangers. You thought I left and I didn't. Now you lose. But I'm kind of rooting for him. I mean, yeah, I was kind of rooting for him. I wasn't. I mean, I was scared. But I was scared and rooting for him to whoop us. Because every time I have fought Arco in the past, it has been bad. But this has been surprisingly profitable for us. Now, part of that is because we're not running at him with everything. So we're not giving him the opportunity to inflict the mortal blow that he would want to inflict. And we're just picking him apart, which was my plan. And I told everybody that was my plan. Now we get to the best. You thought we were at the best part of the turn, guys? No, we're not. Because look at these events. This is not as long of a list as we will have, but this is a pretty long list. So, this is not a game event. This is just the rebirth mod. Here is a game event. Plus 8 water gems. Ugh. Speaking of which, we need to think about Maelstrom. One of the reasons we need to think about it is the highest net gem global. And especially if you have wish casters, which value pearls at twice the gems of other types, it's especially good because it gives you 5 pearls. In addition to giving you like 22 gems, I think in addition to the 5 pearls, I think it's 27 total. And I think 5 of those are pearls. So we have a lot of water. We can start saving it. I mean, we're going to finish water site searching, but 1 second. All right. Kitchen duties called. I'm back. So, yeah, we got some water gems. Very nice. This is an interesting province. The Wood of Many Paths. A wizard once lived in a great tower. Its location has been lost, but it's said that he was a practitioner of air magic, so perhaps one skilled in the same arts could find it. This is an Air 2 site, like it gives you 2 air gems, but it only takes an Air 1 mage to find it. I actually haven't... Or, wait, maybe it... 1 second. Okay, so I was like, wait, we've site searched it for Air 1. How does it not have a cracked tower in it? And there's 2 events. One of the events is where the cracked tower is present. The other is where the cracked tower is nearby. And I believe that is what we have. So it could be here. It can be in any type of terrain, it looks like. It can be in a plain, forest, mountain, coast, farm, swamp. Could be here too. So I think what we want to do, we've already site searched these 2. It can't be in Atlantis' capital. It could be here and it could be here. Basically, these 3 provinces are where I hope it is. If it's here, I'm going to be a little sad. But yeah, so that's a good event, because it means we're potentially going to be +2 air income, which is almost double our air income. Then we have this, which gives us +1 Dominion and 150 gold, which is real nice, because that puts our Dominion up to 8. We were at 7, which is where we had preached it. And then we had another event in Bogarus where we got 6 nature gems. And we had another event in Bogarus where we got 165 gold. And these are... At least 2 of these are Firebird events, I think. And you look at it and you're like, well, Lucid, you only have 24 Firebirds. This should only give you a 50% chance of getting a good event. How do you get 3? And the answer is they are independent. So it's very possible once we have 50 of them, we have a turn where we get no events in Bogarus, even though we have a 100% net chance. And that is not how the game processes it. It will go into each bird and it's going to roll, a 2 and 100 dice. And if it comes up positive, you get an event. So we could actually have 24 events if we rolled, 2 and 100 on every single bird. So anyway, that's how that works. But this turn was a very good event for that, or good turn for that. We got a ton of gold. And then coming down, that was all of it. Some funny things happened, like, look at Midgard patrolled, and Midgard had been a pretty safe place for scouts for a while, because he would let the elves get on top, and then he would, fight. Look how many scouts he has killed. And I'm the last one. There's probably a longer list. It probably keeps going, because once you're dead, you don't see any further things in the turn order. I'm imagining every single player in the game had a scout here and it was minus 25 gold for every single player. So that's kind of funny. Oddly, the monkeys have pulled back. So he was thinking, because elves had their capital last turn and there was a monkey army here. He was thinking, okay, well, the elves might ride out. And instead I'll gym bait. The interesting thing is it looks like the god has woken up. Well, of course he has. For the elves, but that's going to open up a new threat vector. So we're going to have to see. The elves have been very... It's been a mix. Like, some turns they don't do things they should obviously do, like put PD in provinces, or, things sit still when maybe they should move. But then they've had some pretty major reversals. So pretty interesting. We'll see what happens. I'm slightly hopeful I don't have to give the cap circle back to them, but I will. Especially now that we've found 2 water gems here. Makes it feel a little bit more like home when, you're the one that finds the water gems. We should probably actually death site search this. We sent Ulm a flaming skull last turn. I did it like last second before the turn rolled. We ended up making another one for ourselves, but this guy was the one who forged it. They've been not very good about paying me in the gym type I want exactly. Like, I gave them a hat and they didn't have any pearls, and then as an afterthought, they were like, oh, can I pay you in something else? I was like, fine. And then, I don't know, this one, they didn't have any fire, and I do value fire more than death, but whatever. I want to help the dude. If he needs anything that's going to help him hold out longer against Vettiheim, then great. Because I think at some point he's just going to become Vettiheim food. The other thing that's kind of interesting, and I was thinking about, is maybe on spare turns, if we have a nice province like this with 150 corpses in it, we can do Raven Feast. And Raven Feast is going to take 2 air gems, or 3 air gems, and it's probably, in a province like this, it's probably going to turn it into 5 or 6 death gems. I can't remember the exact amount. So that will be pretty good. That will be pretty good. Also, if we get... This is not really worth casting, but once some of our blood hunting provinces get up to like 150, 100... I mean, 100 really, but maybe like 120. I'm not sure what the breakpoints are. Then it'll be good to maybe do a Raven Feast. And I've kind of left out, or we haven't covered yet, maybe the most important thing for this turn, guys. And the most important thing I think for this turn... Okay, well, there's a few most important... I'm sorry, I'm being a little distracted. I'm so excited. Okay, first thing is, we got 37 blood slaves here. I mean, holy shit. That was a very good haul. And when you add it up, 37 plus 6, so that's 44. I'm sorry, 43. And then we'll call this 60. And then... yeah, and then 72, and then plus... Yeah, we'll call this... We're at 90. We're almost having our first turn of 100 slaves income, which was our goal. This, I think, was a high roll, so we'll probably be lower next turn. But we are having more people blood hunt next turn. We have an extra blood hunter here. We have more people coming over here to blood hunt, and then next turn we'll have even more people. So, good news there. Trying to think what else. Yeah, the most important part of the turn. So we got a ton of blood slaves. I was thinking, okay, well, let's go ahead and make another blood booster. We can make the brazen vessel. I actually don't think this is the move. And the reason I don't think this is the move is because if we inspect this army has no more crossbows. Those have run. It just has these guys, like buffed dudes. And they don't have gems anymore, so there's no summons. And these guys don't have magic weapons. And they're going to be very susceptible to fear. And there's a ton of mages. I think we have every single person, we'll see how many we can do it, cast Sin Lesser Horror at this army. And doing that should secure us this fort. Because I think the move is, we roll out here... Maybe I don't do Raven Feast, because it would be good. I don't really need Aerofin, though. I don't know if I need air mages. I do need this guy with Serpent's Blessing stuff, but... I think we take literally everybody that we can. Like, we take you, and we do Send Lesser Horror, and we target this. So that's 1. And then I know you can do it without almost any gear. That's 2. You are going to need multiple things. That's 3. You've got somebody in our capital who's already been casting it. That's 4. And we can do it... I think we can do it one more time. Where did I had... Where did I put my Ring of Wizardry? I put it on somebody. Oh, this got to do Raven Feast. I think we probably skip Raven Feast for now. We'll do that later. And this will be 5. And now the question is, can I do 6? And the answer to that is I need an Astral 3 to do it. And I don't think I have one. But I can probably actually have this guy make a Bloodthorn, which would be ideal. And I can have somebody else do it. So this guy should be able to do it with this gear. Yeah, so this is 5 Sin Lesser Horrors. There is a chance that we wipe this army with 5 Sin Lesser Horrors. I don't know how good it is, but it is a real chance. It is a very real chance. And there's a very good chance, too, that it happens through them running. So it would be great if we could cut off the retreat routes. The problem is I don't really think I can. Not very well anyway. I mean, we could potentially thug this lady up. A giant pestle. Yeah, I mean, we could thug her up and maybe send her over here. And if she dies, it's not a huge deal, but it would prevent them retreating in here, and then we could hit them again with Lesser Horror. Orphan Mystic here. So I think that might be a play. There's 9 of them here. I don't know how many are going to be patrolling. And she would be extremely fearsome. I would probably just have to worry about the Mind Hunt. Because these Mystics probably aren't going to be in too scary of a communion. But, you know, she has fire resistance too. Yeah, I think she can actually do this. And I think this actually makes sense. The problem, and this may also be okay, is that if these guys move into the fort, she will catch them. And the question is, will she be able to kill them? Or will she get Soul Slayed? And the Soul Slay would go through Twiceborn, which would not be ideal. What's her MR? 22. This will get through very strong. We don't have a way to buff it further in combat. I mean, so let's see what we would script her with. I don't think Mistform is the play. I think we probably first do Personal Regen. And then we probably second do Invulnerability. And then we probably third do Soul Vortex. And then we probably do Moss Body. And then we probably, or maybe we do Liquid Body first. And then Moss Body. And then Spells. And ideally, I would get one more. Maybe Advance and Cast Spells. What's her resistance? Is 15, 10, 5. What are these guys gonna make? Oh, Gifts of Heaven. Gifts of Heaven, I would just lose the gear. I don't think I'm going to die to Soul Slay with this. So if I Magic Phase in with Cloud Trapeze here, I think We put her kind of out in front like this. She's got really high encumbrance because of the shield. Do I have better armor? Not really. Be good to put Armor the Knights on her. I probably should forge some. Yeah. I think we do this, guys. I think this gives us a decisive win, and the Southern Theater buys us this fort, basically. And then we're basically done with our part of the war. Then it's only raiding. TNG called dibs on their cap, so this is the only fort we have to take. And I think what this means is we'll leave somebody here to keep the lights on and maybe do a little, well, they caught a scout here. How scary do we look? I think we send a little raiding force here to take this back, because we want this gem income. It's super juicy. And presumably it may be empty with the horrors there. So ideally we send afflicted guys too. 4 crossbowmen. I think for this one, I think here we continue to raid. There's a good chance we lose both of these. But I think we're going to have one group in front. We're going to have these guys behind. And I think we're going to do something a little sweaty here. Put these guys here. Guard commander. We're going to put these in this tile. And that should put 2 in this tile and 3 in this tile. Fire closest. And then this guy is just going to do body ethereal, body ethereal. Or body ethereal, body ethereal. That'll hit both of these tiles. And then iron skin. And then luck, luck. And then spells. This will make it where it's pretty unlikely. These guys will probably die. These guys probably won't. And then at the end, actually, instead of luck, I think he's going to do communion slave. And this guy is going to do luck. You know what I'm thinking? I think actually we do communion slave a bit earlier, like this. And he's going to do luck twice. And then this third slot, he's going to become a communion master. And this fourth slot, by the time his spell goes off, there's a decent chance this guy's already a slave. And so he's going to just start casting spells and taking half fatigue. And there's a chance this works. And if it doesn't, hopefully the mages survive because they're buffed. And if it doesn't work, this guy's diseased. He doesn't have long to live anyway. We'd be a little sad about losing this guy, but whatever. And then, so we're going to move the main army from this squad, from this tile here. We're going to move this up this way so that we can go ahead and put this under siege soon. 1 orphan mystic. Vine ogres and heart companions. I don't think he'll be successful here. If he raids. Enchanted Well, Chasmos. So I think we raid here with this squad. And I think we raid south with this squad. So there's a chance we could mess this up pretty good. I mean, maybe we patrol here and we abandon this while we take this. And the main army, we'll have to, I'm going to come back afterwards and we're going to script this right. But I think we take the bulk of this army. So like all of these guys, including this guy, he's got death gems, and we're going to move him over here. And then we're going to take, wait, who do I have left now? It's a pretty motley crew. Okay, let's see who's afflicted. We're going to take the afflicted dudes. Oh, nobody's afflicted. Oh my god. Just one guy. Okay. This is magic scales of 1. I think we take... I kind of wouldn't mind my prophet dying too. It'd be nice to have a magic phase prophet. So if he gets diseased, we'll take that as a sign. I think we're going to take him. We'll have 2 of these guys here on attack rear. And we'll take... I don't think we have any non-crossbows. So I don't know, we'll take 10 crossbows or something. And we're going to take one of these guys with some blood slaves. And we're going to go hit this place up. And let's make sure there's no diseased commanders we skipped over that we're not moving out. Okay, we did. We got them all. So basically, we're going to have these guys on hold and fire closest. We're going to have these guys on attack rear. And... you know what? We kind of need 2 squads here. I think we're going to do these guys on hold and attack closest. And we'll give them 2 more dudes. And then this guy is just going to do imps. Imps, 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 imps. So imps. Okay, like that. And this guy is going to just do smite spam. And there's a very good chance they don't run into anything here, which will be fine. We're going to keep this scout present. In case they do mind hunts, I think next turn we'll have 2 scouts here, which will be soaking mind hunt spam. And we'll have to script this army. But I think they move here. These guys move here. I think this is all going to be TNG land, so I'm not really going to raid it unless TNG really wants me to. I think that's his job. But you're diseased. You don't have long to live. We'll have you just preach here. Preaching here. I do need to check all of my places where I may have eparchs. This guy's preaching. Oh, he's diseased. God, these eparchs did not live very long. I mean, they're my OG eparchs, most of them, but I wish they would have lasted a bit longer. They've made it all the way out to turn 40. Preaching here would be nice. We built 2 temples, by the way, too, so we're getting close to the next bump in Dominion strength. We don't have any untempled forts left. And we probably need to think about building another fort. I'm not sure where we would do it. Maybe here, because it's pretty high income. We could also think about casting trade winds in Atlantis' cap. That would be pretty nice. But air gems are a little short in supply right now. Where did we cast Astral Window? We're just scouting out monkey stuff. I probably also want to make another, if I can. Another Starshine Skullcap, so we can increase our horror spam capacity. And we probably are going to want... I think I had to turn off Firebird production here last turn, which is a little sad. We'll probably get more Firebirds. I don't know what... We probably need to forge some things too. I'll probably kick these to my inventory to remind me that we have to do something with them. We made boots with him last turn, but I'm not sure what we're doing this time. We definitely don't need more hammers right now. We made we made a Rune Smasher last turn, so that's done. Let's figure out what to do. Like for now, we're gonna have you set to research. And yeah, I think the screws are starting to tighten. We have to make sure we don't slip up too much to make sure this army's scripted right. But so far the raiding was successful. TNG, I don't think, has lost their nerve. And we will see what happens. We're also back in Vettiheim, so we're going to get an update on their score graph. Infiltrate. There's more dudes here than before, which I don't love. We've got this scout here who will get patrolled out earlier. Several Fiends of Darkness. Interesting. Yeah, the scouts will get patrolled out before this guy, so we'll have a bit of a warning if he's patrolling. And I think... so we've got to figure out where to build our fort. I think our next fort... I mean, this wouldn't be horrible either. This is pretty good province. It's got a gem site. It's near Calum land. These would be good too. I think we probably do it here and here. Sadly, none of them get resources. We're not blood hunting here. I don't really need to patrol. I think we're going to make some imps. Okay, we only have enough for one. And I may need to cancel some of this stuff, because who knows how many blood slaves we're going to need for that army. But 5 Send Lesser Horrors should do a real number on this. I'm worried Baba Yaga dies, but I think this is the appropriate time to use her. You know, the other thing that I think is worth considering is maybe alchemizing some gems, or maybe I don't have a Starshine Skullcap to put on. I don't want to send my god for just this purpose. But like, yeah, I would want to send this guy and have them do Mist Form Power, or Power the Spheres Mist Form Anti-Magic with a Ring of Returning on them. And the only thing that it's really going to cost me is the Cloud Trapeze gems, which is 3, which is going to be 6 pearls to do it. And that's just going to... The only purpose of that would be to get her up to 30 MR, which I don't think she needs. There's not going to be that much Astral stuff. And 26 is pretty high. I mean, there's a chance we lose her, but, you know... I don't think it's worth it. I think the chance of losing her is going to be cheaper than, like, wishing her back. If that was who I would choose to wish. And she's not worth a wish. So I think I probably shouldn't do it. It's not worth... I don't think 6 gems is going to help enough. Astral Window. I kind of want to see... let's see what's happening over here. We'll do some scouting. Oh, here we need to upgrade this fort again to a citadel. This fort we have going to a citadel. This fort is becoming a citadel. This fort we have going to a castle. This fort we don't have being upgraded yet, so I think we'll go ahead and do that in the meantime. This fort's not being upgraded either, so I think we'll upgrade it. And now we've about spent all our money. Congratulations. Yeah, guys, this game, I really feel our power just like starting to ramp really hard with these Firebirds coming online, finding a few more magic sites. Our gem income's pretty good. 9 water gems a turn is pretty solid. 11 pearls, pretty okay. Fire income is through the roof. So things feel like they're starting to come together. I probably need to do a bit more dark knowledge casting or something, but things feel okay. Yeah, and I forgot, this guy he lost had the Ring of Water Breathing, and he had 5 gems, so this was minus 10 gems. He's bleeding out gems. Bleeding out gems. Anyway, guys, this is really heating up, and it looks like we're going to get to see what Bogarus can do, hopefully, in all of its glory. I mean, this game is going better than I ever imagined it would. So we'll see. We'll see. Very good turn. Hopefully, Eternal Pyre is not dispelled next turn. But you never know. And with that, there's still some more work to do on the turn. I'll probably let Grippa have a shot at it before we mark it as done. And thank you guys. We'll see you next time.